first started football in kindergarten, flag football, and it was mainly my dad and my brother who got me into football. My dad first signed my brother up, and I wanted to follow in my brother's footsteps. So I started actually as a sophomore, which is I would say it's pretty good for a program like this, and I enjoyed every moment with my brother. I was mainly on the defensive side, so I was mainly guarding my brother a lot, and I saw it as like a big opportunity. So I went into the season as a two-way starter, and I was probably in the best shape of my life at that time, so I was ready to showcase my talent to the state and to the program. So we started 4-0. We were looking really good. I think we beat Greenwich week 3, which was definitely our best game. Number 1 in the state after that, so we were off to a hot start.
We were really just kind of getting our bearings as a team. We were young at that time period, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I think we had 7 or 8 underclassmen who were starting, first-year starters that year. But we knew we had a lot of talent there, and we were just kind of coming into our own a little bit. We came off a big win against Greenwich, who was the number 1 team in the state, ended up being the number 1 team in the state by the end of the season. And we just kind of saw the team grow and start to mold together, and we really knew we had the potential to be something special. We were on the field. It was a Thursday, a pregame practice, and I got a call from one of our other players, John Flynn, one of our other receivers in the program, and she wouldn't call me during the practice, and it was about 5 o'clock, 5:30, somewhere around there. We were kind of wrapping things up a little bit, and I got a call, and she said, "You got to bring Evan, bring him up here. I'm here to pick him up." And so I had no clue what was going on. She said his father passed away, but really don't tell him. And so that was a hard thing because his mom wanted to be the one who told him the news. So it was very difficult bringing him up there, and just kind of letting him know that there was a family situation that he had to go and deal with, and I knew it was going to be the toughest news he ever had in his life. And I was sad I couldn't be there with him during that, but I knew he had his family surrounding him, and Mrs. Flynn picked him up and brought him home to be with his family.
Yeah. So Thursday, October 6th, I went through a normal day of school. I got out to practice. It was a regular Thursday practice for us, a light practice. We usually just walk through things, and I noticed my coach got a call, and I noticed that he was waving me over, and I didn't really know what to expect, and he told me that I had to go home. So I hopped on the gator with him. We drove up to the locker room. He kind of said everything will be all right. I didn't know what to say. Obviously, I didn't know what to think. I always usually think of the worst, so obviously that was what I was thinking. And my mom wasn't there at the time. She was at home already, so one of my friend's moms ended up dropping me off at home. So I knew that he would definitely want me to play, so that's what I did.
I went over directly after our practice, and we had the team dinner. We went over, and me and one of the other coaches, we went over and saw Evan and his brothers, and Gavin played for us, just graduated the year before, and hugged him, and said we loved him, and we're here for anything that he needs during this time period. And his family was there, and one of the first things out of his mouth was, "I want to play tomorrow."
I think the first words I said to my coach, because everyone after went to my house to comfort me, and I feel very appreciative of all of them. So the first words I said to him was, "I'm going to play for him," and so I did.
And I told him, hey, listen, it's going to be your decision tomorrow. There's no pressure either way. Whatever you want to do, you're going to know what you want to do the next day. So I wasn't anticipating it, but the next morning I called him. We talked. We were on the phone, and he's like, "I'm playing. I'm ready, and I'm excited." And he came that day, and he was dialed in, and I knew he was going to come out there and perform for his dad, and he really did.
Honestly, it was very emotional. I remember preparing for the game. All I was thinking about was my dad and how he was now watching over me instead of being in the stand. So I was very upset about that, but I ended up having the game of my life for him.
One of the most unbelievable athletic experiences of my life. We knew we were going to dial him up early, and we got the ball to him the first play of the game on a quick screen on the perimeter, and he took it 55, 60 yards for a touchdown, and he was not being stopped. And it was, we're crying on the sideline, players are screaming, parents and people, the stands are crying and hugging, and he's pointing to the sky, to heaven, to his dad, letting him know that's for him. And it was just, you just knew he was at a different level at that point. And we were just so proud of him.
The first play of the game, I scored a 60-yard touchdown, which I felt amazing. I pointed up to the sky afterwards, and I actually ran to my mom to give her a hug because I knew how everyone was feeling, and I felt that I needed the support. So. I remember the first time I really got shaken up. It was on a blocking play. My running back Lincoln at the time was running an outside fly route, I guess you could say, and I actually got leg whipped. And that's the first time I really noticed that I was not running right. So I still stayed in the game for a bit. I'd say 2 drives after was when it really tore my meniscus, and tried cutting, and everything just completely. So I had surgery on November 7th, so a full month after I hurt it. So I was actually not walking for 6 weeks, and then I was cleared, I believe, in the middle of April, 6 months after. So it was a long process of rehab and physical therapy, but I managed to get through it. It was definitely not great because I was never 100%. Obviously, I missed the first game. Tried coming back the second game, I was still pretty banged up. I'd say the first 4 or 5 games I was just not 100%. And actually, we played Conard. That was the first game where I actually felt 100%. It was actually a year after my dad passed to the day, and I scored 3 touchdowns for him. So I finally felt back where I was. I'd say that it went decent overall. We lost a few games we shouldn't have, but otherwise I felt like I was finally getting my strength back and my abilities back, and I felt like that I was finally just back to where I normally was.
Dealing with a tragedy such as losing a father, coming out that very next night, playing a game, then losing the rest of your season as you're just beginning to scratch the surface of how good you're ready to play that year. I couldn't imagine it as a young man as a young kid who's 15 years old at the time. But what did Evan do? Every day, he didn't miss a practice. He didn't miss an off-season training. He didn't miss a team meeting. He was with us every step of the way. And that was hard. I know that was difficult for him. But he's truly been an inspiration for people in our program, players and adults alike, to show how you overcome adversity, how you overcome those toughest obstacles in life. And just to see him as he progressed and he had the setbacks, and that's hard. You're coming back from injury and it's not progressing the way you want to, and you're cleared, and then you get banged up again. It was difficult, and I know he had some tough times, and we had a lot of discussions about that. But just showing him as a leader, a captain in our program, to show how you overcome those things and how you never let things keep you down when you get knocked down. And he didn't miss a practice in our preseason, in the season. He had to miss the first game of his senior year, but after that, he said he wasn't going to miss anything else. And he performed great and was one of the top players in the state this year. So we're so proud of him. And I know the entire community, his family, all of his friends here in the high school, everybody, are just so proud of what he's done, the inspiration he's shown us all.
They definitely have meant a ton to me. I remember coming here freshman year, I was skinny, definitely not like a peak athlete as someone would say, and they've transformed me into the man I am today, and without them I would not be who I am. And they've all supported me and have helped me get through many struggles that I've had. It means a lot. I think that we have a lot of values here. First, to be a family. Second, to work hard and strive for your dreams. I think that I've learned a ton from my teammates and coaches, and that it has prepared me for the real world and my future. It's definitely important to me because I've grown up playing it my whole life. I have my own goals to reach, and I believe that football has helped me keep myself in line, I guess you could say. I'd say it's definitely improved like my mental health, I wouldn't say physical health, but I think that it's become a huge part of my life. It's truly an honor. I would not think that I've gotten this award, but I am extremely grateful, and I would like to thank everyone who has supported me and have helped me get through all the challenges that I've faced.